If I ask you to name a good tow vehicle, what would you say? Land Cruiser, Hilux, Ranger, Patrol? I bet you wouldn't say BMW X5. But if I asked you to name a good luxury car, the Beamer would be top of the list. And what if I told you you could have both? This X5 has been flying under the radar for a while. It has some headline stats, particularly a 750 kilo payload, which is 100 kilos more than a 300 series Sahara. And it'll tow 3.5 ton, the same as the Land Cruiser. Now we've already been towing for a few days down the Great Ocean Road, Bellarine Peninsula and back via the Otways. But before I let you know how it went, we'll go through some specs. A recent upgrade to the X5 and X7 range has included some reinforcement to the body that has allowed the local arm of BMW to raise the towing capacity to 3,500 kilos braked and 750 kilos unbraked. Most of the X5 range shares these limits, though the hybrid and smaller diesel have lower ratings. One caveat though, you need to option on the tow package from new, as the reinforcement is done at the factory and cannot be retrofitted. The ball weight is limited to 280 kilos. I think more than enough for most caravans, but yes, less than 10% of the max tow capacity, so possibly an issue for some. As mentioned, the X5 has an impressive 750 kilo payload, and to make use of it, 1,870 litres of boot space with the rear seats folded down. Now I have to mention how much I like the split tailgate. This rear section makes a great place to sit or a handy workbench. Curb weight is 2,110 kilos and gross vehicle mass, those two combined, so 2,860 kilos. Now, the gross combined mass limit, that's the SUV, the gear on board and the trailer, is 6,360 kg, which still leaves 750 kilos payload, but some of that will be swallowed by the ball weight. It has an impressive claimed fuel consumption of just 7.2 litres per 100 kilometres combined, but that doesn't matter. We'll get to tow efficiency in a bit, but first let's see what's under the hood. Under the bonnet of the X5 xDrive30d is a 3-litre twin-turbo 6-cylinder diesel. Now it produces up to 195 kilowatt and up to 620 newton meters of torque from as low as 2000 RPM. Now that torque and power drives through an 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox to all 4 wheels. Now it doesn't have a transfer case, but I don't think it needs one with the low first gear, unless of course you fancied some luxury rock crawling. The inside of the BMW X5 lives up to its name. It is so comfortable. The leather in the seats is soft, supple, and the seats are electrically adjustable in almost every way possible. I really like the 2 LCD screens for the dash. They're interchangeable, and of course it has Apple CarPlay. And there is an optional suite of safety systems and driver's aids like Adaptive Cruise Control and Active Guard Plus that combine emergency braking, collision warning and lane departure warnings to minimize the risk of an accident. Now to the tow test, starting with the van. The van we are towing is the epitome of Australian-built luxury in the Jayco Silverline. It weighs in at about 2,500 kilos TER and about 3,000 kilos ATM, with a ball weight between 155 and 180 kilos. It rides on Jayco's J-Tech independent suspension and is a road-focused van. We picked it for the test as it represents what we think people will pull with an SUV like the xDrive30d. It's luxurious, really capable and reliable. Manufactured in Melbourne and supplied by the good team at Prestige Jayco Geelong, the Silverline has a slide-out bed to maximise internal space. It is loaded with tech and features including an electric awning, satellite TV, and it even has its own 360-degree camera just like the X5. Controlling the van is an app that tells you the status of your power and water, as well as allowing you to control things like lights and AC. Our X5 wasn't fitted with an electric brake controller, so we turned to elect brakes and the excellent Bluetooth controlled system. It plugs in between your trailer plug and the van to control the brake force proportionally to the SUV's braking. It's a simple solution we keep handy for just these occasions. We've towed for over 420 kilometres with the X5 so far, and the fuel consumption has been frankly ridiculous. We've been averaging 13.8 litres per 100, which means from the 80 litre fuel tank, we'll get as much as 600 kilometres of range towing with a big van like the Jayco behind us. Without the van on the back, you should see about 1,000 kilometres from a full tank. There's plenty of power under the bonnet, and I really enjoyed using the paddles to shift through the gears when travelling up through the Otways, and they offered a lot of benefit when coming back down the hills for engine braking. The tyres are massive on the X5. Now, they are highway terrain tyres, so they're nice and quiet when rolling along the freeways, though if you were to venture off the road a little bit, I'd suggest at least some all-terrains. Visibility in the X5 is exceptional. You can see down the bonnet clearly, so it makes parking very easy, and it does have 360-degree cameras all around, which even with a trailer on the back help a lot in tight areas. It's a good looking SUV. I like the mix of creases and curves. Now, the wheels and tyres don't scream off-road, but you can easily change them. One thing you can't change though is the GCM, which is a little low. But the X5 xDrive30d is much more capable than most people will recognise, and certainly more capable than most people will need. A standout has to be the fuel consumption, which is astonishingly low for towing such a big caravan. The power and torque going through that 8-speed automatic gearbox give the X5 the acceleration and power you need to be able to keep up with even the busiest Melbourne traffic. It is truly luxurious and seriously capable. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions on the X5 or the Jayco Caravan, leave us a comment below. And if you want to see more tow tests or walkthrough videos of the caravans we review, please subscribe to our channel.